Okay, we did couplers. Now, are we ready to shim a motor into place? I think we are. Let's zoom in on this guy. Just right. There's a Rev 1 motor, which is the reason we had to mill out the frame. Because a Rev 1 motor is slightly, it is a length 8. It's a size 1, length 8 motor. So now, let me show you the goal here. The goal is this. Oh, doggone. And then, of course, the worm gear. It's got to sit down in there while we do this. All right, now, here's our goal. Let's get it. Okay, as you can see, now, I am not certain about, the Rev 1 motor has a 10mm shaft. This is really, really close right here. Okay, that's really close. But back off a little bit. We can center him a little better. Let's see if we can do this. Okay. Now, so on one side, that's pretty close. We don't need it to be that close. We can move forward because we milled it. And now we're getting in the right place. Okay, now notice the Rev 1 shaft is just slightly higher than the worm gear. That is on purpose. As I found out over the years, it's okay to be slightly higher, but it's not really all that okay to be lower. We don't want to do that. It's okay to be a little bit higher, just about where it is, but it's not okay to be lower. Then you run into mechanical problems. All right, so how do we do this? That one's good to go right there, as far as the shim goes. All right, so here's one, not shimmed yet. Okay, let's make sure our worms are sitting down where they're supposed to sit. Now, to do this, here are the tools that you should have on hand: the big chopper, the big jaws, and the heavy-duty side cutter, and a blue Sharpie. This guy will cut through lead easy. So will the scissors, but I don't really like to use my scissors on the thick stuff. This guy here can be used for bending, or if you've scribed your lead, you can break off a piece. Like these guys are scribed. Okay, just you get them in here like this, up to the thing, and if you hold on at the very bottom, you can break that off. All right, we don't need to do that right now. So let's put that guy away. Let's put that guy away. Now, this one I'm just using this sheet lead. So I don't think you're going to be able to find this kind of lead. But if you were looking for good lead, you would go to a plumbing store and get some sheet lead called plumber's lead. If you're using old wheel weights, remember that a ball peen hammer, not this little tiny, well, this little tiny, that's fine, but a regular old ball peen on the anvil on the backside of your vise, you can flatten it, you can shape it, you can pound it, and then you can trim it, and you're good to go. This sheet lead is from a printing press. All right, now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and let me show you how we're going to shim it. Okay, so first off, let's take note. In the bottom of this thing is a channel. See that channel right there? This channel right here. So when you put a piece on there and glue it, we're going to use our amazing goop. You need a little extra goop because it's going to flatten out right in there and it'll hold it. If you don't have enough, it's not going to hold on to nothing. And then it's going to come out, and you don't want that because the torque of the motor will lift up the bottom piece. Oh no, there goes our worm gear, of course. Let's put him back in. Take our little tweezers and okay, he's back in. All right, Sharpie for marking stuff you're going to cut, and the big chopper. We don't need him right now. All right, so what we need to do is this. I've already pre-prepared a piece of lead that's this thick. It's almost like wheel weight thickness, but if I'm correct, it fits. It fits just like that. Okay, but he ain't going on the bottom. It's this guy. that's going on the bottom. And what we want to do is get up higher, don't we? Yeah, and we want to look straight down on what we're doing. Okay. I need to get this guy in here. And so let's get our Sharpie and figure out how long do I want him. Well, I'm doing some lighting effects. So I don't really want him as long as that piece. Let's get in closer. I want him to go about right there. In fact, right where these guys are. And I want him to go about right over here. In fact, I don't even need him to go that far. Let's take him right here. Okay, let's take him right there. All right, now we'll just, this guy's thin enough. You can use a regular heavy-duty scissors. I'm just going to take this guy. I'm going to cut him. Where my marking is, I'm just going to go ahead and cut him like that. If he is way too crooked after you do that, you just take your little ball peen, tap him out. All right, now, is he going to fit? He's not going to fit yet. Ooh, okay, he's close. So now we're going to take our big chopper again. All right, now we're going to cut off a side. This guy doesn't matter too much. He's allowed to be a little bit less because all we're doing is making a flat surface to goop on that base. Okay, now he's right there. That's kind of okay. And even I want to keep as much of the lead as I can keep. So let's go ahead and take our side cutter. How about we take our side cutter and make some corners? Let's just go like that. And how about like that? Now how does he fit? Ah! That looks good. That looks really good. Okay, so then let's take our goop. Let's get a glob on him. And normally you don't want a glob because it'll change the height of things. But on this guy, we need that glob to get down in there. I'm going to put that much on there. Why? Because he's got a channel. And there's 2 holes in there anyways from those old motor mounts. So all we got to do is we're going to put him in there where we want him. And we're just going to press him down. And he will go all the way down to the bottom. And he'll be right there. And there he is. And that's it. Now, does this guy fit? Indeed he does. See? Let me trim the corners. So if you were using a wheel weight from an automobile, you would just pound it until you got the right thickness, and then you would maybe trim it a little bit, and you'd be good to go. So let's give him. Let's keep the surface that's got the indentations in it. That might help our glue grab on better. Now this guy we don't want to glob. We want to smear. We want to smear on him, not a glob. So we want like that. All right, now we're going to set him down in there. And you can feel him in, move him around a little bit, and then get him into place. And there you go. Okay, there it is. Now, okay, now, as a safety precaution, I'm going to tell you, don't grind these guys. We don't want lead dust everywhere. So just use your scissors and cut. Use your hammer and pound, use your scissors and cut. And you take all these little bits and pieces that we don't need and toss them in the garbage. But now, let's see what we got. Did we make it? Let's put the Rev 1 motor in there. Wait, we got it pointing the front? No, we got the trucks on backwards, doggone it. You know that these, we're going to get down here. I put the trucks in backwards. How do we know? How do we know? All right, so there's a light bracket right there that we don't use. That's the front. And these arms right here and here, the red wire is supposed to be on this side, not that side. But for leveling the motor, it doesn't matter. It'll be fine. We'll be able to see if the motor is going to be good enough. And I have to say, that's not bad. That's actually just about right. And that's very, very nice right there. And that will work just right. And what I said, you can be just a tiny bit higher, just don't be lower, because we're going to use silicone hose. And if we have to, we can trim off to make a better drive shaft. These don't have to be 10 millimeters long. We can trim them back a little bit if we have to. And we can use the cutoff wheel to do that. And this big, the big side cutters, it'll take them off. But there it is. That's how we shim it. And you don't have to use lead. You use whatever you got. It don't matter what you use. The lead is nice because it adds a tiny bit of weight. But in this SW1200, that weight is not make a huge difference. Yeah, but every little bit counts, right? But if you had to use wood, okay, wood doesn't weigh anything. If you had to, you could do it. It'd be okay. It'd be just fine. And that's what we want right there. Rev 1 motor is leveled off. So now we're going to paint that underframe. And we're going to paint it first. And then we will mount the motor for good.